Welcome to the SSAM News Desk, where we have breaking international news just for you. A local tourist sweated her way through her abaya and fell from the Ferris wheel she was riding in Bangkok. Now, oddly enough, she sustained no injuries, having bounced upon impact. However, she did claim that she was very, very dizzy. Her last words before being transported to the local hospital was, "Where's your man?"
You like short hair? I can have short hair. You like blondes? I can be blonde. Hyper. And you're gonna get it. Eurobees and shit.
Hello everyone, I'm Steve, Mark's somewhere, and this is Smokey Steve and Mark. Welcome back, and happy Saturday. It is the weekend, so we're going to have a little caffeine in the afternoon. For me, it's a 3-day weekend, Labor Day here in the States on Monday, so it's really, really nice to have. So I hope everyone's well and safe. Look after yourselves and each other, of course. Today we're going to catch up with our fair lady Chantal Marie, Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me, The Daily Chantal, Chantopolis, Chantal and Sala, Foodie Beauty now. So we were live last week, and a couple things we checked in on. MBM, Music Because Marty, was kind of still lingering. There was still discussion about him at the beginning of last week. Fitness talk? How is she doing? Can she walk, shuffling through the desert? It made me think of Saucy Santana. Yeah, I know that you can talk. You talk a lot of shit, but let me see if you can walk. Not an original Steve, but seemed appropriate at the time. Pre-records. There was a lot of pre-recorded material, mostly mukbangs, primarily mukbangs. The videos either had her locked in time and space by saying the date in the video, which she never does. So it was meant to be, deceptive. And, okay, so we did the pre-records. They weren't very good. And she talked about her privacy. She lives her personal life as content with a comment section, and she wants privacy. Okay. And where's your husband? Where's your husband? Where's your husband? Where's your husband? He's out with the boys. Thailand, from what I understand, has a very, very active sex scene. So I'm sure he'll text you. But at any rate, this week we're going to talk about the tail end of the recorded mukbang. She ate a Happy Meal, and then she had some sushi or some Japanese food. They went to Thailand. She did. She landed. Some of the pictures looked like they were in front of a green screen, but I think that was hopefully just for effect, that they were actually there and in the airport and all over the place. And she was doing some walking. We'll talk about it. Chantal sounded like the hotel TV voice when it gives you the previews of what to do in the community. So that was coming off of the couples channel. So there was content posted between the couples channel and her Foodie Beauty channel as well. And going towards the end, same old Chantal. You can take the girl out of Cornwall, but she's still Chantal. In an abaya and a hijab, she's still Chantal. Getting on an airplane, she's still Chantal. Being in Bangkok, still Chantal. So, alright. So the recorded mukbangs, I had said, were Japanese food and then a McDonald's Happy Meal. And it was like trying to be satisfied. Trying to have her convince herself that a Happy Meal is satisfying. I would eat a Happy Meal for an appetizer myself. But I don't usually get Happy Meals because I'm grown and I don't care about the toys and portion control from a place like that. I love fries, but I just don't usually get them. I just get a burger and whatever. So, what else do we got? People had noticed the pre-records and there was an assumption that she was traveling. So with all these recorded mukbangs, the discussions whirled. She's traveling. It's visa time. They're going to get married, whatever the reason. But that they're traveling, and they're traveling without posting, going live, or doing anything like that. But I don't think people thought necessarily that she was going to Thailand. I vaguely once remember it was in a comment section, maybe a reaction, comments and a reaction, talking about how Thailand is the destination for folks who are possibly doing things like they have different rules, like a person with this citizenship, she's quite the citizenship status, and who has what and who could get married where, and it has its own sort of ebb and flow. Chantal herself described her immigration as probably being a combination of loopholes and out-and-out lies. But, you know, I guess if the needs are getting met, whatever. She goes to Thailand. And so when she lands in Thailand and starts showing people, it's unbelievable. I think people are floored. In the footage, we got to see Chantal go through the Kuwaiti airport, heavy breathing, of course, sweating indoors in the air conditioning, get on a plane, a small plane, and then have to unboard that and get onto another larger plane to make their transit. So they had one exchange in between going from Kuwait to Bangkok where they landed. And she looked very cramped. Getting into it, she almost had a smug satisfaction that she could fit herself into one of the airplane seats. For a while. Suddenly, there was a conveniently empty seat between her and Salah, so she would be much more comfortable with two seats, but I think does one on principle. Actually, Salah looked pretty uncomfortable too. He's about 6'3", and he was showing a shot looking down at his knees, and he was right all the way up to the person in front of him. And meanwhile, she's piled up to here. They're quite the couple. They're quite the odd couple. I'm sure they make a spectacle when they go out. I suspect Mark was watching it with me, and he was like, she loves people staring at her. She loves dressing up ridiculously and then showing herself off in public. Or at least she seems to. Then you start to look at the videos closer, and you think, where is everybody? I'm assuming they probably flew out at like 3 a.m. And also with her getting to Thailand, I suspect, though I don't know, that if there's the camera going and walking and music, Salah's doing it. I suspect she probably had to get something like a wheelchair and a trolley, or she physically wouldn't have been able to do it. Just coming down the ramp from the plane. She wasn't even down getting out of the plane. Just going down the alley, and she was... The critique I have of that is she's going to have to go visit these places again later in life when she can lose some weight, because she's missing. So I'm not even there, and I know she's missing so much. There's so many things she can't do. She's going to get into a, what is it, a tut-tut? There's no way. She's going to fall out the side of it. So I don't know if she thought so much about accommodations in Thailand when she would land there. Thailand is known for quite a few things. Delicious food, active political movements, sex trade, gender-reaffirming surgery, and other operations at a low, low cost. So that's a very limited picture of it. But when you're talking about Westerners going abroad and with an agenda or for a reason to go, and again, the thoughts of going to Thailand were that it had some sort of advantage to them getting through the visa process, having different, whatever it was. You know, people have 1,000 reasons why they think they're there. There's probably as many. But she made it. I think a lot of people were surprised that she got on a plane and did it. And she had her little smug smile of, see, I told you I could do it. What we didn't see was everyone carrying her to the plane, wheeling her to the luggage, throwing her into the car. You know, she probably, even though she just made a huge trip, she probably hasn't walked that much. Honestly. And it's not safe for her. I wouldn't recommend someone her size walking from one area of the airport to the other. I think she'd probably have an episode of some sort. You know, it's her fault she's in this condition. But nevertheless, she's in a fragile condition. So with all the humanity I can share with another person and all the love I can extend, just look after yourself. I think you'll enjoy Thailand next time a lot better. The problem is you have a channel fueled on food, and there's no getting away from the fact that overeating makes you fat. At least in her circumstance, maybe not everybody, but at least in hers, the overeating and the size of her body, it looks like there's a pretty close connection. So if and when she chooses to change, I think she would probably have a lot more fun. Honestly, I think Salah would have a lot more fun. You know, on camera, their interactions are like a little cringy, a little sincere. Little cringy, little sincere. I'm going to write off his use of the word babe excessively is her insistence and his maybe limited understanding of language. You know, he found a word he likes and he uses it all the time now, which is fine. But they made it through the airport, they made it to the plane, they made it off the plane, and I was surprised. I was very, very surprised. Do I want to say I'm happy for her? I'm surprised. I don't know. Like I said, I think she'll be missing stuff on this trip, and then in hindsight looking at Kuwait and all the things she could have seen. Traveling is more than just a plane ride. But for her, I don't know that it is. Like they get off and they start going through Thailand. Let me see if we have the notes for that. While they do their little tour around. Now in Thailand, what we're pulling from is not only the Foodie Beauty channel, where she's gone live a couple times with the Bangkok bees, but also the couples channel where she's been posting this content. And the views on that channel were always kind of, in the thousands. Not a huge moneymaker. And the subs went up and down below 10,000 a couple times. So putting this content on the couples channel seems to want to bring traction and attention over there. And the videos are getting her, like 10,000. She's getting 10 to 12,000 views per video. Every once in a while she gets a 15. When she said she had bed, she got 20 or so. So she knows where the money is, but she also doesn't want to fake being on a diet for very long because she knows that eating the food on camera is what brings in some of the money. Boy, does her husband love her. I wish I had a disgusting habit I could capitalize off of that Mark would endorse and promote, that it was deadly to me and hurtful to me, but hey, money's money. Now, if Saleh does love her, how does he reconcile that? I imagine he does, because they're in the situation, but how does he reconcile the fact that he's bringing the food to someone who is almost disabled by her own mouth and can't get up, and you're going to bring her more of it? You know, if I was an alcoholic, let's say I stopped drinking, but so it goes. And I had a problem drinking. But I made videos where people liked my crazy antics while drunk. And so Mark would, of course, give me more alcohol to fuel the fire and make more content. Now, the reality is Mark would probably not do that because he loves me and is concerned for me, and there's something bigger and more important than just entertaining people and money, or disgusting people and money, whatever, what have you. And I don't think, where's your man? I don't think Saleh cares. Here's your food, babe. Do this, babe. Are you paying, babe? He pays for everything on camera, which is cute. But the fact that she went live when she got there a couple times, and then the stuff is on the couple's channel, I think she thought this was going to be another one. I think she put a ton of effort into Kuwait being a big deal, because in her head it was something she couldn't do and no one thought she would do. And she did, and she got there, and she's picked up... She gains and loses about 1,000 subs every few months because she'll do some nice travel and she'll have some nice conversations and not be a bitch and not be spiteful or snarky in the videos. And then invariably she watches a video that she Googled of herself, freaks out. I'm traveling. I'm here. You're just mad. Stay mad. Yeah, I want to sit so uncomfortably on an airplane. I mean, and travel that far and throw away the opportunity to see the world because I like to eat. I don't know. I think Mark would want better for me. I'd want better for him. If he was going through addiction and monetizing it and capitalizing it, I wouldn't feel good about participating in it. A lot of people have a price, and probably I do in some circumstances. But for something like this, I mean, I only have one husband, you know, so I don't want to see him get hurt through addiction or me either. But apparently they don't have those kind of boundaries. He doesn't see what he's doing as harmful to her. I don't know if he thinks it's helping. I think the tuna salad subs from Subway and the salad here and there and all that stuff she turned her nose up and ate like a begrudging child, that they were from him in the interest of her health. And I think she probably explained to him very convincingly that, kid, this is how I make our money. So either get on or get off. And that's where it went. There's always the threat. There's no threat to Saleh of Chantal trashing him publicly. But if he thought about her previous boyfriend, her so-called boyfriend, you would realize that when she's upset, she will spill all your business to everybody for the sake of just hurting you because of some perceived hurt that she said she's received. And so all of a sudden, we're going to hear all these things about Saleh again. He locked me in. Remember that happened when she first got there? He locked me in. Oh no, he didn't lock me in. Wait till they break up. It'll be he locked me in. He was so controlling. I had to speak in a different voice. All these things she chose to do, she'll say he made her do so she can feel like victim-y, because she likes that. She likes to be the center of attention. And yet she goes out at 3 a.m. It's kind of weird.
So guys, Bismillah. Let's eat.
The other portion of that being that let's see how accommodating Thailand is when she leaves there. You know, is she going to find places she can sit? Is she going to be able to reconcile the beautiful Thai women walking around who are 1/4 of her size and checking to see if Sala's looking? That could be problematic. She's so suspicious of other women. She's convinced her husband loves her, but terrified he's going to leave her in a blink of an eye. So how attached is he really? And maybe she would be a little jealous. Now, that's not exclusive to big people or to idiots, but, you know, it'll happen. And when she gets jealous, she gets spiteful. Also, there's a theory people use that, like, if you're a cheater yourself, you're constantly worried about your partner cheating. If you're, like, in a couple, but you're screwing around on the side. Because you know you're taking advantage of the situation and not being honest. So you assume the other person is doing the same thing and not being honest. And then you act like they are doing that thing. So, I'm concerned for her getting back out of Thailand. I think it'll be funny. It's not funny if she gets hurt, but it's funny if it just makes her sweat. I mean, she's not going to die from sweating. So, you know, let her go. So the tourists have arrived. They have. So they get all the stuff they show in the first vlog. It would be like if somebody from another country stopped in Times Square and they didn't really go much further than that. They just kind of walked around a little bit and saw the touristy stuff and ate at Guy Fieri's restaurant if it's still there. It's fucking shit food. Just saying, sorry God. And they would just see what's local and what's touristy. And they end up stopping into a little, it feels like the airport gift shop. Like where you buy a bunch of crap that says, you know, I've been to another part of the world and you can show it to people. Not like, remember when she was going to go Travel Bees last time and buy trinkets and send them to her fans? That ain't going to happen. That's not going to happen. She never promised it, at least, which is good. I mean, at least she set expectations low. This trip was about her. It wasn't about her viewers. The only thing they're supposed to do is like the video, subscribe, watch, and maybe get a cameo of her live from there. So, they go to a wax museum, Madame Tussauds. Of all the places to go, your first day, to go to a wax museum, I didn't really understand. Like I said, they went to the cheap tourist trap kind of store, and then they were at Asiatic, which seemed to have stores and rides and other stuff, kind of a waterfront sort of thing, and it looked pretty cool. The video interactions between the two of them are a little cringy. They're always a little cringy. I would argue, though, they look less cringy than before. So, you know, it seems like she just got there and that this is a joke, but I mean, we're coming up on it. This is her life now. We're coming like close to a year of her being there and then traveling. So Chantal is having a relationship and traveling. On the surface, all the things that she wanted, and she thinks nobody else can achieve, so that they are jealous. I'm not jealous of jamming myself into an airplane seat to travel. I'm not jealous of a husband who seems to tolerate me. I don't know. But they go to the food court while they're out, and she gets some super authentic pad thai, I'm sure. And what we see is something very similar, and it kind of explains away how when she's doing the mukbang, she has that box up to here, and she's going like this. She's eating. Sala's not a big surprise. And she has the plate about up to here. Now she's, you know, Chantal, so this is out, and this is out. She couldn't reach, if she had the plate on the table, to take the food and get it to her mouth. She keeps it up higher so she can just kind of shovel it in. And it was, at one point she tried to feed him some, and it didn't look like it was going to happen. And then there was like, then they cut away and they went to something else. But she's sitting there, not a lot of people around, but it was the old eyes darting. Remember the outhouse? Or going for Burger King and then sitting in the parking lot, full face of makeup, looking all over the place to see who's looking and who's watching. She's out proud and doesn't care, but hawks like she's ashamed of what she's engaging in. So when she's sitting there with Sala eating, and there's people, you know, not a lot of people, because they go everywhere when it's closed. She's afraid of people, and they want to be able to film, and they're weird. They're weird. She likes getting attention, but standing out doesn't really, like, I think she probably feels like people are staring, because they are staring. It's a spectacle. She's 4 times the size of a normal woman. So I think people are going to stare. That shouldn't be unexpected. Is it rude? Is it cruel? I don't know. Bottom line, it shouldn't be unexpected. And to act shocked would be kind of stupid as well. going through Thailand, they were walking for a while and then ended up getting into a car. And she was sweating constantly. She was sweating waiting to get on the plane in Kuwait. She was sweating walking around and dripping sweat to the point where it's almost like a joke. Like it's constant. And she cannot be comfortable in that sweat bag she's had on for 4 months. Why not? Okay, bathe, first of all. But if she comes to a point where she has disabled herself to where she can't clean, she either needs a personal assistant or her husband has to help her. You know, she's at the point now where I suspect being in the bathroom and grooming and doing that stuff is a lot harder for her than she probably lets on. But if he's going to be there and he's going to be the stand-up guy, you know, we're all supposed to be the assholes. He's the one who's supposed to love her. And that's why when he does stuff that's like rude or dismissive to her, I'm like, look, I don't really like Chantal too much, but I'm not the one who promised to be with her forever, allegedly. So if anyone should be nice to her, it's him. That should be her ride or die, them against the world, because Chantal doesn't even have any friends to send trinkets to. Not one. The last thing I kind of wanted to talk about was how there's this weird relationship between like the old Chantal and the new Chantal. She did this cringy kind of tour guide-y thing. She was narrating. You remember the channel in a hotel that has all the stuff you can do with the hotel and it has the music and the voice? It was giving me flashbacks of that kind of. It made me think she has, in some ways, no real self. And just does whatever's convenient at the time and makes that her identity. And she's done that with the Muslim garb and what she's trying to do. But I don't think everything that glitters is gold, because the real Chantal latches onto a man, alienates all his friends, and won't let a woman within 10 feet of him. Because a really secure woman would act just like that. Absolutely. And once he crosses her, once Salah crosses her, it'll be messy, because he will. Because she's ultimately number one. She's incapable of putting another person before herself for any extended period of time, unless it's part of an exchange and she's getting something out of it, or an agreement. She wouldn't just be nice to someone and be giving with nothing in return. It's not her. She sees it as transactional. She would always bring up, I paid for this, I paid for that. Now remember with Nader, he paid for everything and had a business. No one was knowing what he did, but he had money of his own. And then we come to find out when she's pissed that she paid for everything. So how long, Salah, until it's you? I hope it's not. I hope she's happily married. I hope we're all wrong. But weird is fine. But fake isn't. You know, he's awkward, she's awkward. But they're too awkward to be around each other, it looks like. So, I don't know. And not for nothing, but where's the cat? She said the cat was cared for. Julia, the cat, was an outdoor cat before that. You know, she's slipped enough in saying it. She just picked it up out of the street and brought it into the house. Probably didn't take it to a vet. So, you know, there could be bugs jumping around. And, you know, feral cats get sick. And when there's overcrowding and it's in urban space, it could be even more so. But she just, you know, people were like, well, where's the cat going? Where's the hamsters going? And the discussion was either she gave it to Allah, or she just threw a bunch of freaking food on the floor and filled up the tub and just left them there for the duration of it. Now, to be fair, people with pets travel. Having a cat does not mean she needs to be anchored to her home for the next 15, 20 years. But arrangements are usually made that will accommodate the pet. Either you can take it to somewhere or you have someone come check on it. I sort of think she doesn't care enough to even plan for that kind of thing. You know, if we don't see Julia again when she lands back in Kuwait, I don't know. She did make clear that she's not going back to Canada. Ever, 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 ever. And if I owed someone 50 grand, I wouldn't want to go back and see them again either, like she does the government there. I would love to hear that her moves across the world had zero to do with owing money to the Canadian government. I can appreciate her not wanting to go back. But you know, that's Chantal. That's the kind of person she is. Me, take, and when you want yours back from her to cash out, she's gone. She's completely gone. So that's not unique in this situation. The postcard club. Oh, guys, oh this, and then gone. Gone. No postcards. Join a membership. We promise all this great upcoming content. And then there's nothing. her eating a Happy Meal. You know, even the feeders weren't happy with that probably, because no, they want to see it. They want to really see it. And she won't give it to them. The modesty that she's trying to present is clashing with the kind of outrageousness that makes the mukbangs live. And I think she thought going to Kuwait was going to explode the channel. And it didn't. Those videos got equal, if not less, to her mukbang videos. And on their couples channel now, it's back over 10,000 subscribers. And there was, I think, 3 or 4 recent videos. When I say recent, I mean within the last 3 weeks. There's chunks, huge chunks of time, there's no content there. And so I think she's trying to drag people over to the couples channel because the people that know Foodie Beauty know her past. The people who would just be finding Chantal would only know this version of her and would like her. What she doesn't understand is that it all looks so contrived, it's not going to get new viewers. It's like watching a bad reality show where they're trying to fake a crush, you know, to make somebody jealous. Again, people are weird. I'm not super big on PDA with Mark, like, at all, pretty much. And it's not the gay thing, it's just, I was brought up Irish Catholic, we're bashful people. And he did hold her hand in the video, and he bumped into her, but, you know, she's going to be stubborn now about not showing them kiss because everyone wants to see it. So being the contrarian she is, she's never going to let it happen. And I think it saves Sala a little bit of whatever, too. As far as their plans continuing to stay in Thailand, I'm not sure. Like I said, Thailand's known for many things. I don't think she's going to get around Thailand as easy as she did Kuwait, or Bangkok as quickly as she did, easily as she did Kuwait City. They were on a trolley, they were on a subway, she did some video of them going around, she looks like she was going to fall off, and people are staring. And she's an oddity. She's an oddity. She's extremely pale, she's extremely round, she's covered up to her nose, and, you know, people are aware of Islam in other parts of the world. I wonder if she sees any other Muslim-looking women like her. They went to get to some halal pad thai or something, and it was ass. They both got sick. So far, so good in Thailand? I don't know. I have concerns every time she travels that she's going to die. She's going to throw a clot on the plane. She's going to have an accident in some part of the world where they're not capable of securing a stretcher to put her on to get her in the hospital. And as she's traveling, I hope she's not living in denial of her weight and is willing to accept the fact that she might have to get a couple checkups along the way. You know, some stuff could happen. I know Chantal's theory, she reminds me of my mother. If I don't go to the doctor, I won't have to find out that I'm dying. That kind of thing. So I can live my life head in the sand and believe everything's fine. I think she does that too with her weight. She thinks she has all the time in the world to go handle it, but in the meantime, traveling sounds more fun. But I think she'll find, if she ever turns a corner and gets anything close to... She doesn't even have to get well. Once she gets smaller, she can do so much more. She's going to kick her own fat ass later for going on these trips at this weight and for letting her be in this condition when she went. It would be so much more comfortable. They could do things with Sala. They could go, not just walking, they could go to the amusement park and go on the rides, and she wouldn't be too big for them. And they could do normal couple shit. You know, maybe she would look more attractive to him at a different size. I mean, he did marry her at this size, but, like, I think the prenup was pretty thorough. So... And so where do we go from here? Do we think she's going to continue to travel and continue to go all over the place? Yeah, I think she will until her weight stops her. Now, Kuwait, she was bedbound. She was there all the time. I don't think Sala's going to be satisfied to stay in a hotel room with her while the rest of this... I mean, he's traveling too. I don't know if he's ever been to Bangkok, but he looks excited. And, you know, he looks excited to be in Bangkok. He looks like he's there with her, like, we deal with this. But from where they are now, do they go back to Kuwait? Do they travel around? I don't know. It's going to take its toll on her body. It's going to take the toll, the traveling, even though I think she's probably getting wheelchair, jazzy, and trolley rides from gate to gate, and probably feels like the Queen of Sheba waving at everybody as they wheel her by, like it's some sort of flex. I get to eat everything I want, and I still get to have a life. Sure, Tom. Sure you do. Sure you do. Sure you do. So what's coming up next? Well, maybe we'll find a new religion. Because this will end. Because for her, it's not a change of life. It's just another chapter. She lives in chapters. And a lot of us do, you know, or have our own cycles of doing things. Like, I'm on a weight loss journey again. I started that 5 years ago when the channel started, but I needed to lose weight again. and you get some accountability when putting it on camera. If you care about the opinion of the people who are watching, I think Chantal is satisfied that it's all haters. She doesn't give a shit what any of them think. Every once in a while, a new VIB comes in, and then they kind of get caught up on Chantal and the kind of person she is, says she was, because we're moving on from her past. Not leaving, not hiding, not burying it, not running from. She'll be Amish next. She'll be a born-again Christian next. Who knows? Who knows? But, you know, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So, hopefully you're here for it too. Man, it's getting sweaty in here. I'm feeling a little foodie beauty. So thank you all for joining me, and thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe, hit the bell. You get alerts when we have new videos and go live. We're on Instagram, Twitter, X, Facebook. All that's in the description down below as well. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow. We're going live at 6 p.m. Eastern for our regular Sunday chit-chat. It's very chill. We talk about foodie beauty, but we can talk about anything we want there too. So we have a good crowd, we have good mods. Don't hesitate to stop by, okay? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Bye. Say goodbye, Mark.